Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And we're here at the beautiful IL Tavolo Di Palmisano, located at 700 Clinton Street in the beautiful city of Hoboken, New Jersey. And that's right, my Italianness is coming out so much because the person to my right, the Italianness doesn't come out anymore. Because it is Daria, not it's just Daria Peace now of at Hoboken Eats.
Say it, just say it. I know you want to say it.
Daria De Lucia of that Hoboken Eats. Welcome back.
My dad's gonna love you because you refused to call me Daria Peace.
Exactly.
He wants the Delucia name to live on.
Well,
but...
Ralph, I love you too, buddy. All right, exactly. Daria, I know this isn't your first time at Il Tavolo.
Oh God, no.
What do you love about it so much?
First of all, I'm like, oh God, my husband's coming soon to just stop by. I'm like, he's gonna think we're on a romantic date over here. This is the cutest freaking table I've ever sat at.
I got no shot against Matt, but go ahead.
But first of all, the ambiance is super cute. You come in here, first of all, the outdoors is so adorable. They have it nice set up outside. Then you come in here, you have this front room with the bar, cute vibes, and they have this whole second room in the back that I don't know if everyone knows about. It's like this cool little hidden gem that they got back there, but got a lot more space for parties, everything you could want to do back there.
Amen. Amen. And
why don't we, I
was going to say, why don't we start talking about the food here?
I'm drooling looking at these things.
All right. Well, why don't we start? See, you know, when I was looking at the menu, and of course, Frank Palmisano, who owns this with his brother, Peter Palmisano, just an absolute gem of two people here. He was like, Pete, just pick anything you want off the menu. And I was like, we got to go for the meatballs.
Grandma's meatballs.
Grandma's meatballs.
And whenever you see grandma's meatballs on a menu, you know they're going to be absolute fire.
Exactly. So, you know, what makes these meatballs so special? What are in these meatballs,
So
Darren?
we have beef and pork meatballs with, looks like we got some ricotta on top, and their tomato sauce here is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm just going to dig right in.
She's digging right in.
I am the person who takes all of the ricotta whenever I have meatballs. So we're going to not share these with Peter, and I'm going to eat them all to myself.
Plate will stay clean. We'll see for
clean.
how long.
Yep.
You know?
And if you've watched this regularly, you know nothing's going to stay clean during this segment. So
that is 100%
all right, we got to
true.
dip in the
Look at her.
sauce.
She's going right back for that sauce,
all
man.
right.
I mean, okay. Oh, God. Talk to me.
It melts in your mouth. There's nothing not to like. And you know what? Meatballs are, not everyone gets them right.
No.
Not everyone gets them right. That's what I'm telling you. When you see grandma's meatballs written down somewhere, you know you got to order it. The sauce is nice and light. The meatballs have a delicious flavor to them. And then you get that kind of like cool creaminess from the ricotta. Mwah.
And that ricotta on top, like you said, it brings that almost like that coolness afterwards, but it also brings that freshness.
And that's like it's still a summer dish.
They're pretty good at
still
this.
A summer dish.
Exactly. Still a summer dish. Exactly. And Daria, my dad, you're looking very summery today, but that's okay. I am wearing salmon, I guess, right?
You
got it going on. I didn't know if you
were,
the
part.
Right?
Look
you know,
the
I
part.
wanted to set you up under the flowers tonight. Matt just walked in, so enough hitting on her, all right? So, you know. All right. Why don't we move on? As you can see, I'm moving on quickly because Matt's giving me the evil eye. And this is what, Daria?
Oh, this looks like heaven on a cutting board. This is their burrata and vodka sauce flatbread.
That's correct.
Looks like we have topped with a little bit of pesto as well.
And that's what's amazing. I'm going to let you start digging in.
I'm like, are you going to keep talking?
No, I'm not. You have to do the eating. And this one I might actually divulge in as well. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. You know, I don't want to get my salmon color shirt dirty. You know, but I'm just talking about it.
Some people can't handle it.
Exactly. No, I can't. You know, the last time I had like pizza in my beard and things like that. But you know, oh God, talk to me. Oh, sorry. So, but what I was going to say was before you give your honest assessment on this flatbread is Il Tavolo. You know, their menu's so expansive that they do so many things well.
Whew. Hold on. We got to take a step back.
Just.
This is so freaking good. The vodka sauce mixed with the creaminess of the burrata, topped with that. You get a nice little kick from the pesto, and the actual bread part of the flatbread is just cooked perfectly. And the cheese, look at this melty cheese on it. Like you have everything
That's burrata, right?
There's everything you could possibly want in one bite. And again, the sauce is so nice and light and delicious. I don't feel like I'm eating like a huge pizza right here. All that cheese, you don't even feel like you're having anything super heavy. It's so flavorful and delicious.
So yeah, take another bite. And one of the things that I forgot the last episode, because Daria likes to break the Richter scale all the time, is rankings. And I was going to skip it this time, but I think that'll be a disservice to Il Tavolo if we skip some rankings. So why don't we start with the meatball, since that was the first dish you tried.
Are we going to keep it out of 10? Because it's going to be an 11 out of 10.
I'm going to do it out of 100, okay?
Whew. Sheesh. 115.
Wow! Breaking the Richter scale again. I absolutely love it. And then the flatbread out of 100.
130.
130?
I can't. It's so good.
I try to
too
move the
good.
numbers up, and
It's
this is
too
what
good.
happens.
It's too
you
good.
know? All right, why don't we get to our final dish, because we're at an Italian restaurant. We have to do a pasta dish,
You have to do a
correct?
pasta. And I'm going to assume that you chose this dish for a special reason that's personal to my heart.
I did.
Stuffed rigatonis.
Uh-huh. Daria's, of course, first son, which is her dog.
It's named Rigatoni.
Is named Rigatoni. He's been featured on the show
He
before.
has. He's come to quite a few segments.
How is Rigatoni doing with the baby?
Doesn't care. They don't interact. He's like, I'm still the firstborn. I don't know why mom's giving her attention to somebody else. So maybe when they get older, they'll be friends. But
I love it. Stuffed rigatoni, and then what's the toppings on here?
so it looks like we have some cherry tomatoes, some corn. No, this is drizzled with hot honey, some Parmesan cheese.
Hot
and
honey?
Yeah.
Did you say hot honey?
Hot honey.
What?
I know.
That is a... Whoa. Say it, don't spray it. Peter just sprayed all over the place. I was going to say, you might want to move that
All
over.
right, let's do this.
My apologies on that.
You got to try this with me.
Okay, fair
All right.
enough. All right, I'm unrolling the... Oh, my God.
Unroll it. I'm making sure I get enough corn on
You know
here.
what I like. You said hot honey. You
Yeah.
like sold me on hot honey.
Yep.
Oh, goodness. All
right.
You know,
And
hot
also-
honey's really popular these days, by the way.
You know, people are putting it on pizza. They're putting it on pasta.
I put it
I'm
on my
going in
pizza.
for an extra dip.
That hot honey, I can't even speak. You feel that right away.
But like, what? Who would have thought to do that?
Mm.
This is so. That
Wow.
sauce is fantastic. I don't even know what flavors I'm experiencing in my mouth right now.
You know why it's fantastic? Because you taste the honey, but you also taste the very, very light sauce that's in there. And that's what's super confusing.
But like the corn is working too.
It's not Jersey summer without your sweet Jersey corn,
How
right?
you doing?
Absolutely love it. That is as summer as it comes.
And it looks like summer too. I mean, anytime you see corn, you do know it's summer. They got the cherry tomatoes, and again, the stuffed rigatonis. Those are not bad.
Those are
Those
really
are not
good.
bad. Not
That
bad.
is
Ask
phenomenal.
me. Ask
Oh.
me. Ask me. I know. It's
On a
good.
scale of 1 to 100, Daria, what do you give the stuffed rigatoni special dish here at Il Tavolo?
180. And if you don't come in and get it, I don't know what you're missing out on, because your summer is ending, and this is summer on a plate right here.
Folks, for those of you learning arithmetic at home,
Math is
when
never-
somebody says from 1 to a number, you don't usually want to go above the number. You can go below the number, but when the food is that good, I guess you're breaking all type of scales.
Math has never been my strong point, but eating has. So
Amen to that.
that's why I'm doing this.
Amen to that. All right, you're coming here with Matt, the baby, maybe rigatoni. You're sitting.
And I have. This is not Raphael's first time here.
You're coming here again with them, I
Yep.
should say. Is this going to be now your go-to on the menu?
Oh yeah, I've had those many times,
Oh.
and I absolutely love them. I will most definitely be coming back and getting this and that
and everything.
over and over again.
Exactly. It's like the best of all worlds. in
But
my
you know what? It's interesting because I'm happy that we got to try this now, because there's so many things on the menu. I'm like, I just want to come in and get one of everything. So that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Well, I got a surprise for you. You're actually going to come back next week, and you're going to try 3 completely different dishes, because I'm just such a nice guy.
You know what? That's why I keep coming back.
That's why we love you. Daria, formerly De Lucia, now Peace of at Hoboken Eats. You're going to want to follow her on Instagram. Thanks again.
Thanks for
Really
having me.
Appreciate it. Folks, get over to Il Tavolo Di Palmisano, located at 700 Clinton Street in Hoboken, and we will be right back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook and our Instagram pages by searching The Pulse with Peter B, and like and follow us on each of those platforms. We're constantly updating those pages with previews of each week's segments and cool stories. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our email address at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com. Welcome back. I'm your host with the most, Josh Sotomayor Einstein, and I'm so glad to be joined not by that bum Bianca Mano, but by Councilman Phil Cohen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good to be here, Josh.
I think everyone out there that's involved knows that you and I don't agree on many things, and that's why I am personally honored and respect you even more than I did before. For coming on, on the show, on the segment with me. A lot of respect to you for doing so. So tell us, everyone out there in TV land that's been involved, that pays attention, that votes, knows that there are very few people that have campaigned as hard as you. And right now we're going through campaign season. So tell everyone out there on the internet, on TV, why are you running?
Well, Josh, thanks for noticing that I campaign hard. I've already knocked on 2,000 doors, and I started in May. I enjoy doing that because, to me, if you're going to ask people for your vote, if you're going to put yourself out there in public service, you should take the time to talk to them and introduce yourself to them. A lot of people don't know me. People here on the Pulse do. I've been a guest of yours before. You've moderated a debate 4 years ago, and by the way, you were very fair during that debate, which is why I had no hesitation whatsoever of coming back to the show, because just because we don't agree on issues doesn't mean that we can't be agreeable and work together and try and make the city a better place. So the vibe I've gotten from talking to people has been positive. People are happy here in Hoboken. It's not to say we don't have disagreements, we don't have arguments, but the big picture is that people feel like the city is doing well, it's on the right path. We've had some major accomplishments in the last 4 years where I've been on the city council. We've opened Resilient City Park. Your favorite governor, Phil Murphy, was here for the ribbon cutting. We had a great event, but it is a landmark accomplishment of Mayor Ball's administration and for the 5th Ward. We now have what had been a construction site for 3.5 years, now has 2 million gallons of stormwater retention, parks which are beautifully planted, beautifully landscaped, a great place for you and Peter to sit and chat on a beautiful summer day and just talk about life. It's just a great place to go. So I'm proud of the fact that I was a part of that. We lived here through Superstorm Sandy. We know that storms, stronger, wetter storms, and yes, I do believe that climate change is real, that these things are happening, and we're on the front lines of climate change here in Hoboken. So we need to build strong, we need to build smart. I chair the development committee. We're working on our waterfront Rebuild by Design, that program that was started by President Obama that we won that $230 million grant for, and we're still working on that. So there's a lot of great things that have happened, and there's a lot more to come, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that.
I think you've named so many Democratic politicians just to stun me into silence. And it worked. Okay, very, very, very good. I just, I mean, your joke about me and Peter talking in the park, very, very funny. I mean, you definitely, listen, we don't agree on much, but I mean, no one can deny that you have personality and determination. And I know from when you've campaigned last time and this time, people in the ward, because I used to live in that area, have called me and said, Phil's a very affable person and he's always out there in the community. So I guess maybe, a little bit away from the political for 1 second.
Sure.
Since you've been such a part of the community, what is your favorite local nonprofit?
Well, my wife Rebecca serves on the Hoboken Shelter. She's been on that board for over a decade. I love the shelter's events. They serve a really important role in our community. It's hard to pick and choose because our not-for-profits are the heart and the backbone of our community. Government does a lot of things well, but our not-for-profits, the NGOs of the world, really make a difference. And during the COVID pandemic, so many of them, our Hoboken Community Center, fed people, flag, serve meals to our frontline people. There's so many, and it's hard to say one is better than another. But I do have a special place in my heart for the Hoboken Shelter.
Well, I remember when I saw you at the most recent annual 80s party of the shelter that you were cutting a rug, brother. You were cutting a rug. But stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Hudson River Care and Counseling. Hello, I'm Dr. Pam Pater-Ennis, the CEO and founder of Hudson River Care and Counseling with over 30 years of clinical social work experience and therapy. We are a progressive counseling and coaching practice with a diverse team that brings a holistic approach to clients. We offer support, both in person and through digital platforms such as telehealth. Consider us a safe haven that you can trust with care for your mental health needs. Visit our website to set up a consultation today.
Welcome back. I'm so honored and pleasured to be still joined, he didn't run away, by 5th Ward Councilman Phil Cohen. And we talked a lot about, your past accomplishments, what you're most proud of, your bionic man level of campaigning, and interestingly, your nonprofits that you particularly like in town. But let's talk about going forward. What do you hope to accomplish if you're re-elected?
Well, I made jokes about politics and that sort of thing, but at the end of the day, being an effective council person is not about blue or red. It's about being responsive when people need help. Are you there? Do you answer the call when people call you? And people can email me at hobokenphil@gmail, and they regularly do. So if you have a problem, I want to be there to help. I've made relationships with people the last 4 years. I worked with people through a pandemic that nobody could have predicted or planned for, worked with people to keep them safe, worked to help people in day-to-day things. Like right now, people are very concerned about rodents, working with people on how we're going to manage that with new garbage can laws and that sort of thing. But that's just one example of something that it wasn't really an issue 4 years ago, but it's an issue today. So what will happen over the next 4 years, nobody can say for sure. But what I can say is that the relationships that I've built and the people that I've worked with and the people that I've helped are not going away. I want to keep helping them. I want to keep being there for them. I enjoy the work. My mother was the mayor of the town that I grew up in. This is something that she's been my mentor, and she swore me in when I was elected as councilman. It was a beautiful thing for me. But that's something that I want to continue the work. So I'm doing it because I like the job. I'm not looking for a higher office. I would like to be the 5th Ward Councilman for another 4 years because I feel like I've done the work. I'm going to continue to doing the work. Campaigning is really just another way of reaching out and talking to people because you want to meet people where they live and ask them what's going on. And is there something that I can do to help you? And those are the conversations that I'm having over and over and over again. And that's why I feel like people feel like we're on the right track and things are going well. And hopefully the people will want to return me for another 4 years.
Now, if people want to learn about your track record, do you have a campaign website that they should go to?
Sure. So philcohen.org is my campaign website. I issue a newsletter every 2 weeks. I've had 85 community meetings. I call them Coffee with Cohen. It's not as cool as the Pulse with Peter B. And it does take a little bit from Coffee with a Cop, which I thought was a pretty cool name. But I just have my 85th Coffee with Cohen event. People can tune in and watch those. You can go to my Facebook page, Phil Cohen for Council. Click on them. I just had a Coffee with Cohen event with Councilman Joe Quintero, who's doing a great job on the rodent issues and CAPS meetings, and we talked about public safety. Or you can subscribe to my newsletter. Send me an email, hobokenphil@gmail. I'll add you to my distribution. My next one's coming out on Friday.
That's terrific. Now, I know a lot of times during campaigns, it's not just door knocking, but there are events, and you're talking about, Coffees with Phil and newsletters, but are there any events coming up in the campaign?
Right now, I've been invited to a lot of other candidates' events. I started my kickoff campaign back in December, and I had a wonderful event back in June. Right now, I actually don't have an event on the schedule, but I'm looking forward to supporting other good people who are out there running, and I'm looking forward to seeing some new faces on the city council.
Well, listen, if you're spending the vast majority of your time knocking on doors like you did last time, then I don't see, how there's a chance you couldn't win. And again, not advocating, just calling like I see it. But it's really, I'm so thankful that you came on the show. We only got about 30 seconds left. You want to do a 30-second elevator pitch?
I just want to thank the people of 5th Ward for giving me the opportunity to represent them in the last 4 years, and I hope to do it again. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you so much for coming on, Phil. I hope we have you on again. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Peter Biancamano back with you. Don't forget to watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Files Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. Also on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m., you can watch our show on our YouTube channel, and you can also binge watch all of our old shows. Who doesn't want to keep watching The Pulse with Peter B? We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. Peter Biancamano back in the host chair, and thank God it's not Josh Sotomayor or Einstein, because the person to my right would agree nobody ever wants to see him ever on camera. But we have missed our sports insider, former 17-year NFL fullback, Mr. Tony Richardson. T-Rich, it's so good to see you again, man.
It's so good to see you. And they always say that some people have a face for radio. That's Josh.
That's
so
Josh.
yeah, he has a face for radio.
It's actually the whole body.
Yeah, the body for radio. Yeah, exactly.
Because he thinks the camera, puts on 10 pounds. It's more like 30 for him.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, let's just get into.
Let's just get into the segment, right?
This could get really rough. We don't want to go there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So T-Rich, we were talking way back before the Super Bowl, and I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, you brought me to an emergency room. What's going on here, right? Yeah. I mean, the fine people at Hoboken University Medical Center invited us here in Camp Health, and we thought, why not do a segment with you?
Exactly. Last time I was here, I was actually here getting my COVID vaccination.
Oh,
and so
here?
Right here. Yep. And that's before I even moved to Jersey City. So now, since I live in Jersey City, we have a hospital I say we because I'm part of the team. We have a hospital in Jersey City, and there's one here. So I'm always very taken care of.
Of course, it's Christ Hospital
right
in Jersey City. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So, T-Rich, let's talk about first what you've been doing. The NFL, obviously, there's an off-season for players, coaches. They all deserve it. It's a brutal contact sports. But what have you been doing this summer? Because you've been a little busy.
Yeah, so for guys that work for the National Football League, we technically don't have an off-season. So as soon as the playoffs start, that's really when my work kind of ramps up. So I go to all the playoff games. Unfortunately, the Jets nor the Giants made the playoffs, but we don't want to bring that up. Or the Cowboys. The Cowboys are never going to make the playoffs.
Well, they made the playoffs. They just got eliminated.
Well, playoffs. The Cowboys made the playoffs?
And so did the Giants.
Okay, all right, good. Well, I mean, But anyway, so I go to all the activations. I forgot all about that. I was a fullback. I hit the head. That's why I'm glad to be here.
Well, listen, we are in a great special.
Exactly. So I can go get my brain checked while we're here before I go to my concert. But so actually, as soon as the season's over, that's when my work really starts. And so I'm a mentor for the Senior Bowl, so I get a chance to see all these young kids who really go to the Senior Bowl, don't do anything because they don't want to get hurt before their big day. Go to the combine, myself, work done. Steven Jackson, we're mentors. So every running back that's come into the league in the last 10 years, I've been able to mentor them. And then from there, Super Bowl. I was just sharing that I was at the Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a great story.
It's Kansas City Chiefs.
No, don't say he, because I almost got killed over that.
Oh, what?
So I'm sitting in the Eagles section, but I got a good thing I had backup. So behind my shoulder was Orlando Pace. I had a bunch of NFL players sitting behind me. And this guy was like, oh my God, this is Tony Richardson, Chiefs Ring of Honor Hall of Famer. Eagle fan turned around. He's like, I don't care who you are. You in Eagle country. And I was like, first of all, you need to get out of my face. And this is a Super Bowl, so you need to sit down. So, no, seriously, I had to get security to get me out. At the end of the game, this guy had blood coming out his eyes. At the end, the Eagles lost. The Chiefs didn't win that game. The Eagles actually lost that game because they shouldn't have stopped running the ball. They had the whole game. Next thing you know, it was like boom, 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 boom. You like Patrick Mahomes, and then the Eagles fans want to fight me. I was like, I didn't play, so I'm alive, and I'm now living in Jersey City.
Well, listen.
No thanks to the Eagles fans.
I was going to say, I mean, goodness.
They want to hang me upside down. So,
I tell you what, that fan base loves to give themselves the reputation that they absolutely deserve.
I mean, Temple University, before the game, let's go take someone's random car and flip it over. Let's destroy it, before the game. And so I don't even know what would have happened if they won. So,
and we're not even saying that because there's actually a person from Philadelphia in this room, and that's an Eagle fan.
Yeah, his blood is boiling because they got a chief in the house.
That's a chief, exactly.
You couldn't go wrong, though, because it was a Kelsey Bowl and obviously Travis versus Jason. I actually cried at the end because I'm like, I could imagine his mom was split. I'm happy for my son, but I'm sad for my son. And she's a rock star now. She's on Saturday Night Live. She's doing it all.
I know. Look, she deserves it. Yeah, why don't we talk football? Absolutely. So look, the NFL season is upon us. Just a few weeks away from NFL kickoff. Why don't we discuss the local teams first? And I don't want to even talk about those New York crappy Giants. So let's start with a team that was extremely busy this offseason, and that is still busy, and that is the New York Jets. Definitely. They got a new quarterback in town with Aaron Rodgers. Of course, Dalvin Cook was just signed the other day. I mean, Is this team ready to make it to the next step? Now, the next step for them is the playoffs, but
Definitely.
these guys are looking past the first few rounds of the playoffs.
Well,
what do you think, Tony?
No, because if you start looking past, then you're gonna get smacked in the face. And so
I
the
agree.
good thing, I had a chance.
I'm a Cowboy fan. I know that very well.
Yeah, you definitely know that.
You know?
I would tell you this joke about it. Like they said that there was a white line on the field and it was the end zone, but it was like, don't worry about it. The Cowboys will never get there. So
Oh!
that was that. I don't want to tell you that joke.
Thank you for joining us, Tony Richardson.
Yeah, wrap it up. Wrap. No, it's a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
So great thing for me, it's like a family affair because Paul Hackett was my offensive coordinator when I was with the Chiefs.
Wow.
So Nathaniel Hackett was a ball boy. So now he's the offensive coordinator. So I got a chance to go out to practice. I'm going to try to get out there this week before everything is over. And I really like what they're trying to do. But the thing about it, you got to take one practice at a time, one game at a time. Because you already say, okay, Aaron Rodgers is getting us to the playoffs. You're going to end up not making the playoffs. And so the biggest thing, the offensive line is in question. Because if Aaron's looking at the top of the stadium, you're not going to win many games. But with him at quarterback, it definitely gives you a chance. And, you know, you got some running backs that could take it to the house. But the key thing is that defense. I mean, Sauce Gardner, like this kid is the first guy in the building, last guy to leave. He's will be a Hall of Fame talent, but he's the first guy in, first guy to leave. You can win with guys like that.
But I have to ask the $1 million question because a lot of Jet fans who are very jaded, and as well they should be.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they've been scarred a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is this the Brett Favre experience?
So I actually played
All
with
over.
Favre. I don't think so because I think when we got Favre, he was kind of at the tail end of the season until he goes to Minnesota and goes 15-1. But yeah, I know, right? Don't tell me. That's like that makes my heart cry.
Something about the Jet jersey,
yeah,
right?
but no, I think Favre was a little on the tail end, and Favre was a gunslinger. Like it wasn't like he spent a lot of time in the playbook. Favre was a football player. He's like, okay, just run that route. What route? That route that goes down the field. That was Favre. Where Aaron Rodgers is students of the game, he wants to spend the time with the guys in the offseason. For the first time, because normally he's always traveling and going to the dark places and stuff in caves. We don't want to talk about that. But no, I think now he's recommitted. And they're like, oh, he's saying all the right things. I'm like, well, you know, you give him $60 million, I'll say the right things too. But no, he's committed. I think they're heading in the right direction, but you got to take one game at a time.
All right. Well, I hate to do this, but I think we should really spend like 25 seconds on them. And that is, of course, as I mentioned, those New York crappy Giants.
Oh, my God.
You know, who also had a very busy offseason. Here's my fear for the Giants. And it's actually not a fear because I think
you don't care.
I don't really care. If they fall on their face, they fall on their face. You know? And that is Daniel Jones. You give him all this money in the offseason for really one good season. I mean, you know, can he keep producing? And I know Barkley is now in camp. He signed his franchise tag and so on and so forth. But, you know, will he be playing for that new contract or will he be playing for, hey, listen, these guys screwed me?
Well, you know, I think the biggest thing as far as, you mean Saquon as far as Daniel Jones?
Correct.
Well, as far
Saquon first.
Well, Saquon first. I think, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder because, and I get it. I'm a former running back. Obviously, I wasn't that type of caliber player. But literally, they're taking our position and just saying, oh, we just give these guys a couple bucks. And they carry the team.
And it's terrible.
They carry the ball more than anyone else. They get hit more than anyone else. Our careers are much shorter. He's definitely playing for a contract. I mean, why not? I mean, you only get 1 or 2 times in his career to strike iron and strike gold. So he's definitely playing with a chip on his shoulder. I have talked to him because he's kind of a neighbor of mine. Can't tell you where he lives, but
I'll be at your house.
Yeah, come on over after the. But no, I mean, he's definitely playing with a chip on his shoulder as he should. So I mean, obviously, Dalvin Cook just got an $8 million deal. But the thing about it is like, you know, I remember the day and age where running backs, you know, the Emmitt Smiths, the Marcus Allens were your bell cows.
Absolutely.
But now it's a passing league, so it's quarterbacks and wide receivers.
Quarterbacks and wide receivers. Yeah. And we have less than a minute left to go here. I know, time's
we didn't
flying.
talk
We missed you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Really quickly, I guess here's my final question. We'll skip to that.
Okay.
You know, who's your Super Bowl favorite this year?
I'm going with Kansas City and the Eagles. Yeah.
Again?
No doubt. The Eagles are stacked. I'm telling you, we were just talking. The Eagles, top to bottom. The Cowboys can't. The Cowboys can't be. No, the Eagles top to bottom. And Jalen, he's only getting better. They have a squad. If you look at that roster, you find me one hole in that roster, I'll give you $100. They don't have any holes in that roster.
But do you believe that they'll get redemption against Kansas City?
Well, I can't. You said who's prediction to be in the Super Bowl. You didn't ask me who's going to win. But you know,
we got plenty of time to talk about that.
So Patrick Mahomes, they go for it 4th and 1. First preseason game. You don't think they're committed to winning?
They're committed to
Most teams aren't even playing. He's out there. He's like, Coach, 4th and 1, let's go for it. And guess what? I'm going to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
Well, T-Rich, so good seeing you.
Good to see you as well.
You're going to be on a lot more now. You're my neighbor to the north over here.
Exactly.
And, you know, it's
and we got a good hospital to always come to.
Amen to that.
So
absolutely.
you have a place to come cry after the Cowboys lose every week.
All right.
We can stitch you up.
I said he was invited back every time, but this is the last time you're going to see Tony Richardson on the show. I'm just letting you T. Rich. Great to see you again.
Thanks so much.
All right, folks, join us next week for The Pulse on everything you need to know. I'm Peter Biancamano. I hope you have a great week, everybody. Bye.